My name is Brother Matthew with the Franciscan Missionaries of the Eternal Word. I've been with the community since 2007, and I wanted to give you a little bit of my own backstory and my own vocation story and how I came to this community. It begins, of course, when I became Catholic in 2003. I came into the church with my siblings, and my father came into the church the year after that. My mom was raised Catholic, and she came into the church around 6 months after I came into the church. And it was maybe like a year and a half after I became Catholic that I started thinking about what I was going to do with my life. And I was at Mass one day, and I was listening to the intercessions during Mass. And one of the intercessions that came up was they were praying for more laborers to be sent into the harvest. And of course, it was a prayer intention for an increase in vocations. And when I heard this, the thought occurred to me, what if this is something that maybe I'm being called to? And I didn't really think much of it after that. This was after I came into the church, and I was still wrestling with some of the teachings of the church. Of course, I believed everything, but I still had to try to understand them myself, try to understand the teachings of the faith. And as I was wrestling with them, all of a sudden, just everything seemed to click for me. And I was able to understand that just everything started to fall into place. And at that moment, I felt like I had this sense from God that I was being called to a vocation. And so my godmother was the RCIA coordinator for when I went through RCIA, and she gave me information to visit my vocation director for the Diocese of Wilmington. And so I got in contact with him, set up a meeting with him, and he talked to me about this, about my vocation. He asked me if I felt like I was being called to diocesan priesthood, to religious life. And at the time, I wasn't quite sure. I was still thinking about where I was called to be. And so and I said I was leaning more towards towards the religious life. And so he advised me to look into different communities and make a decision from there. So I visited the Capuchins first, and then I also went on a diocesan vocation retreat. And it was my mom who actually gave me the idea to visit the Franciscan Missionaries. She would see them on EWTN. She saw them during Life on the Rock, celebrating the Masses, and she would say, how they always looked happy. They always had smiles on their faces, and she thought that that would be a good fit for the community. So I contacted the Franciscan Missionaries of the Eternal Word, set up an appointment to talk with Father Anthony, and after having a phone interview, I visited the Franciscan Missionaries in January 2007, and then I made a repeat visit in June of 2007, and it was at that visit that I was offered an application to the Franciscan Missionaries, and that's how I came to join the Franciscan Missionaries in September of 2007. And I'm currently on the track for the priesthood. I have 2 more years of seminary formation before, God willing, ordination to the holy priesthood.